Right, listen up. You want to cook like a real chef. You want to stop making that bland, boring rubbish you call dinner and actually create something stunning? Then you've come to the right place. My name is David, and today I'm taking you on a journey. This isn't just another cooking video. This is your complete guide to mastering the world's most famous, most iconic, most delicious recipes. We're talking about the dishes that have defined cultures, the plates that chefs around the globe have perfected for generations. From the heart of Rome to the streets of Bangkok, we are going to unlock the secrets behind these culinary masterpieces, step by step, so even you can get it right. Don't blink, don't wander off, and pay attention. This is your chance to elevate your cooking from amateur to absolute rock star. We're going to break down every single detail, every technique, every ingredient. No more excuses for serving up a sad-looking plate. But you need to focus. To make sure you don't miss a single crucial instruction, we'll have subtitles running throughout the entire video. They'll have all the measurements, the little tips, the secret tricks that separate a good dish from a great one. So keep your eyes on the screen. There's no room for error when you're dealing with legends of the food world. Are you ready to transform your kitchen? Are you ready to impress your friends, your family, yourself? Good, because we're not just cooking today. We are creating art. We're building flavor. We're respecting tradition, and we're doing it properly. Forget everything you thought you knew and get ready to learn from scratch. This is your culinary bootcamp, and I'm going to be with you every step of the way. Now let's get started. Chop, chop. First up, a dish that is beautiful in its simplicity but so often butchered by amateurs, spaghetti carbonara. Get this in your head right now, there is no cream. Absolutely none. If you even think about reaching for a carton of cream, you've already failed. This dish is from Rome, a testament to Italian genius, using just a few perfect ingredients to create magic. It's a dish for the people, born from necessity and perfected with passion. You need guanciale cured pork jowl, not bacon, not pancetta. Guanciale. Its fat is the soul of this dish, rendering down to create a flavor that is simply sublime, rich, and intensely porky. Now for the sauce. This is where you need to be precise. We need egg yolks, lots of them, for that rich velvety texture, and a whole egg for structure. Then pecorino romano cheese, not parmesan, pecorino. It's sheep's milk cheese, sharp, salty, and it's the authentic choice. You grate it finely like snow into the eggs. Get your whisk and beat them together with a heavy dose of freshly cracked black pepper. The pepper is not just a garnish, it's a key ingredient. Carbonara means charcoal burner style, and that black pepper represents the flecks of charcoal. Whisk it until it's a beautiful, pale, creamy consistency. This is your sauce. Simple, right? Don't mess it up. While you're preparing your egg and cheese mixture, get a large pot of water on the boil. And I mean a rolling boil. Salt it generously. It should taste like the sea. This is your only chance to season the pasta itself. So don't be shy. We're using spaghetti, obviously. Drop it in and cook it until it's perfectly al dente. That means it has a slight bite, a bit of resistance. Mushy, overcooked pasta is a disgrace. While the pasta is cooking, you render the guanciale in a cold pan over medium heat. Let it sizzle and release all that glorious liquid gold fat. Get it crispy, but not burnt. Timing is everything here. Once the guanciale is crisp, turn off the heat. Your pasta should be ready right about now. Using tongs, you're going to lift the spaghetti directly from the water into the pan with the guanciale and its fat. Don't drain it completely. You want some of that starchy pasta water to come with it. It's the secret emulsifier. Now toss, toss, toss. Coat every single strand of spaghetti in that beautiful pork fat. Let it cool for just a moment. This is critical. If the pan is too hot, you'll scramble the eggs and end up with breakfast, you donkey. Now for the magic. Pour the egg and cheese mixture over the pasta, away from the direct heat. Work quickly, stir vigorously, continuously moving the pasta around the pan. The residual heat from the pasta and the pan will cook the eggs gently, creating a silky, creamy coating sauce that clings to every strand. Add a splash of that starchy pasta water if it looks too thick. You're looking for a sauce that's glossy, not scrambled, not watery. It should be a perfectly balanced emulsion of fat, egg, cheese, and water. That's the sign of a true carbonara. Look at that. See how the sauce coats the pasta? It's not swimming in a pool of liquid. It's elegant. The guanciale provides salty, crispy bursts of flavor. The pecorino gives it a sharp, tangy depth, and the pepper cuts through the richness. Each element is in perfect harmony. Plate it immediately in a warm bowl. Don't let it sit. Garnish with another generous grating of pecorino romano and a final twist of black pepper. Don't you dare put parsley or anything else on it. This is perfection. This is a dish about respect. Respect for the ingredients, respect for the tradition, respect for the technique. When you make a proper carbonara, you're not just making dinner. You're tasting a piece of Roman history. It's a dance of fat, eggs, and cheese, and you are the choreographer. Get it right, and it is one of the most satisfying, delicious things you will ever eat. Get it wrong, and it's an insult. So practice. Master the timing, understand the heat, and you will have a showstopper. Stunning. Next, we travel to Japan for a lesson in precision, discipline, and respect for the ingredient sushi. This isn't just fish and rice, you donut. This is an art form, a culinary tradition that takes years, decades to truly master. But today, I'm giving you the fundamentals, the foundation upon which all great sushi is built. It all starts with the rice, the shari. The rice is the heart and soul of sushi, and if you get the rice wrong, the entire dish collapses. It's more important than the fish. Let me say that again. The rice is more important than the fish. We use a specific short grain rice, which is sticky and holds its shape. You have to wash it meticulously. Rinse it, drain it, rinse it again, until the water runs completely clear. This removes the excess surface starch and ensures the perfect texture. Then you cook it. A rice cooker is your best friend here for consistency. Once it's cooked, you let it steam, covered, for at least 10 minutes. Don't you dare lift that lid. Let it do its thing. The texture has to be flawless, each grain distinct yet clinging together. While the rice is resting, you make the sushi zu, the vinegar seasoning. This is a delicate balance of rice vinegar, sugar, and salt. You warm it gently in a small saucepan, just until the sugar and salt dissolve completely. Don't boil it. You're just dissolving, not reducing. The balance is key. It should be tangy, sweet, and salty all at once. This seasoning is what preserves the rice and gives it that characteristic, addictive flavor that complements the fish. It's a chemical reaction as much as it is a recipe. Now for the critical step, seasoning the rice. You need a hangiri, a traditional shallow wooden tub, or a large, non-metallic bowl. The wood helps absorb excess moisture. You spread the hot cooked rice into the tub. Then you pour the vinegar seasoning over a rice paddle, drizzling it evenly over the surface of the rice. Using the paddle, you have to cut and fold the rice. Don't stir it, don't mash it. You slice through the rice and gently fold it over, fanning it with a fan or a piece of cardboard as you go. This cools the rice quickly, makes it glossy, and ensures every single grain is perfectly coated. The fish, the neta, must be of the highest quality. We're talking about sushi grade or sashimi grade fish. This means it has been handled and frozen in a way that makes it safe to eat raw. Don't just go to any old supermarket fish counter. Find a reputable fishmonger and tell them you are making sushi. They will guide you. For today, we'll use a beautiful piece of tuna. You need a razor-sharp knife, a yanagiba if you have one. You slice the fish against the grain in a single, fluid motion, no sawing. One clean, elegant slice. The thickness should be uniform, about 1/4 of an inch. Now let's form a simple nigiri. You wet your hands in a bowl of water mixed with a little vinegar to stop the rice from sticking. Take a small amount of the seasoned rice, about the size of a walnut, and gently form it into an oblong shape in the palm of your hand. Don't squeeze it to death. It should be light and airy inside, but firm enough to hold its shape. You're creating a little pillow of rice. It should feel delicate, not like a dense brick. This is where the skill lies, the perfect pressure. Finally, you bring it all together. Take your beautifully sliced piece of tuna. With your finger, smear a tiny dab of wasabi on the underside of the fish. This helps it adhere to the rice and adds a little burst of heat. Then you gently press the fish onto your pillow of rice. Cup it in your hand and give it one final, gentle squeeze to shape and secure it. There, a perfect piece of nigiri. Elegant, simple, and a testament to the quality of its components. Serve it with a little bit of soy sauce for dipping, and dip the fish side, not the rice. Don't drown it. Respect the flavor. Right. From the precision of Japan, we move to the rustic, deep, soul-warming comfort of France. We are making French onion soup, a classic bistro dish. This isn't just some watery broth with a few onions thrown in. No, no, no. This soup is a labor of love. It's about one thing and one thing only, the onions. You have to coax the flavor out of them, slowly, patiently. It's a process that cannot be rushed. If you rush this, you'll have a bitter, pale, disgusting mess. Patience is the secret ingredient. First, the onions. You need a lot of them. It looks like a mountain, but they will cook down to almost nothing. Yellow onions are best for their balance of sweetness and astringency. You slice them thinly and uniformly. Uniformity is key for even cooking. Get a heavy bottom pot. A Dutch oven is perfect. Melt a generous amount of unsalted butter with a little bit of oil. The oil stops the butter from burning. Then in go the onions. All of them. It will look like the pot is overflowing, but trust me now, the long game begins. You cook the onions over a medium-low heat. We are not sautéing, we are caramelizing. This is a slow, magical transformation. You need to stir them occasionally, making sure they don't catch and burn on the bottom. For the first 10 to 15 minutes, they will soften and release their water. Then slowly, they will begin to change color, from white to pale yellow to golden, and finally to a deep, rich mahogany brown. This can take 45 minutes, an hour, even longer. Don't turn up the heat to speed it up. You'll just burn them and ruin everything. Look at that color. Deep, dark and glossy. The kitchen should smell incredible, sweet and savory. That's the flavor base. That is where all the depth comes from. Once your onions are beautifully caramelized, you deglaze the pan. A splash of dry sherry or brandy. Pour it in and scrape up all those browned bits stuck to the bottom of the pot. That's called the fond. And it's pure flavor. Let the alcohol cook off for a minute. Then you add your flour. Just a tablespoon to thicken the soup slightly. Cook it for a minute to get rid of that raw flour taste. Now for the liquid. A rich, dark beef broth is traditional and essential. Don't you dare use a pathetic little stock cube. Use a quality, flavorful beef broth. Pour it in along with some fresh thyme sprigs and a bay leaf. Bring it to a simmer, then reduce the heat to low. Let it bubble away gently for at least 30 minutes, allowing all those flavors to melt together into a harmonious, deeply savory soup. Season it with salt and freshly ground black pepper. Taste it. Adjust it. It should be rich, slightly sweet from the onions, and profoundly beefy. While the soup simmers, prepare the crouton. We're not using little square croutons from a bag. We're using thick slices of baguette. Brush them with a little olive oil or melted butter and toast them in the oven until they are golden brown and completely crisp. They need to be sturdy enough to hold up to the soup without turning into a mushy disaster immediately. This is the raft that will hold our glorious cheesy topping. It's time to assemble. Ladle the hot soup into oven-safe bowls. Place 1 or 2 of your toasted baguette slices on top of the soup. Don't be shy. Then you cover it, and I mean completely cover it, with a mountain of grated cheese. Gruyere is the classic choice. It's nutty, salty, and melts beautifully. You can add a little bit of Parmesan for extra saltiness if you like. Pile it on, more than you think you need. Then, place the bowls under a hot broiler until the cheese is melted, bubbling, and golden brown in spots. Serve it immediately, but warn everyone, that bowl is hotter than hell. Utterly delicious. Let's turn up the heat and head to Mexico. We're making tacos. And, I'm not talking about those sad, crunchy, pre-formed shells from a box that shatter into a million pieces on the first bite. No, we are talking about proper tacos, the lifeblood of Mexican street food. A taco is a universe of flavor in the palm of your hand, built on the foundation of a soft, warm corn tortilla. The tortilla is the plate, the vehicle, the beginning of everything. It has to be good. The heart of a great taco is the filling. The possibilities are endless. But today we're making a classic carne asada. Carne asada literally means grilled meat. We're using skirt steak or flank steak, cuts that are full of beefy flavor and really benefit from a powerful marinade and a quick high-heat sear. The marinade is where the magic happens. We're talking about a symphony of flavors: fresh lime juice, orange juice, chopped cilantro, minced garlic, a little bit of jalapeno for a kick, cumin, and a splash of oil. It's bright, acidic, and it tenderizes the meat beautifully. You take your steak and you let it bathe in that glorious marinade. Let it sit for at least an hour, but honestly, a few hours is even better. Let all those vibrant flavors penetrate deep into the meat. When you're ready to cook, take the steak out of the marinade and pat it dry. This is crucial for getting a good sear. If the meat is wet, it will steam, not sear. Season it generously on both sides with salt and pepper. You want to hear that sizzle? Get a grill or a cast iron skillet screaming hot. And I mean really screaming. A little bit of oil in the pan and then lay that steak down. Don't touch it. Let it form a beautiful, dark, flavorful crust. That's the Maillard reaction. And it is where the deep roasted flavor comes from. A few minutes per side is all it needs. We're aiming for a beautiful medium rare on the inside. You want it to be juicy and tender, not a tough old piece of leather. Once it's cooked, take it off the heat, And this is non-negotiable. You must let it rest. Let it sit on a cutting board for 10 minutes. This allows the juices to redistribute throughout the meat, ensuring every bite is succulent. While the steak is resting, prepare your toppings. This is where you can add your own personality. We need some finely diced white onion and chopped cilantro, a classic combination that adds a fresh, sharp crunch. We need salsa, a fiery salsa roja or a tangy salsa verde. And of course, wedges of lime for squeezing over the top. The acidity cuts through the richness of the meat and brings everything to life. Everything should be prepped and ready to go. A taco is assembled and eaten quickly. Now, the tortillas. Soft corn tortillas are the only way to go. You need to warm them up to make them pliable and bring out their flavor. You can do this directly over a low gas flame for a few seconds per side to get some nice char marks, or you can warm them in a dry skillet. Stack them in a clean kitchen towel or a tortilla warmer as you go to keep them soft and steamy. A cold, stiff tortilla is a culinary crime. Slice that rested steak thinly against the grain. Look how juicy that is. Now assemble your masterpiece. Take a warm tortilla, lay down a generous amount of that beautiful carne asada. Top it with a sprinkle of that onion and cilantro mixture. Add a spoonful of your favorite salsa. And finally, a big squeeze of fresh lime juice over the whole thing. Don't overload it. A taco should be a balanced 2 or 3 bite affair. Pick it up, fold it, and take a bite. That is the taste of Mexico. Fresh, vibrant, spicy, and utterly, utterly delicious. Alright, pack your bags. We're off to the bustling streets of Bangkok for one of the world's most beloved noodle dishes, Pad Thai. This dish is a national treasure in Thailand. A perfect storm of sweet, sour, salty, and spicy flavors all dancing together in one wok. Getting that balance right is the challenge. It's a fast, furious dish. Once you start cooking, you don't stop. So the most important thing you can do is have all your ingredients prepped and ready to go. Your mise en place must be perfect. Let's talk about the sauce. The sauce is the soul of Pad Thai. It's a precise blend of tamarind paste for that signature sourness, fish sauce for salty umami depth, and palm sugar for a gentle caramel-like sweetness. You have to use tamarind paste, not concentrate. It has a fruitier, more complex flavor. You mix these 3 ingredients together, maybe with a splash of water to get the right consistency. Taste it. It should be a thrilling tug-of-war on your palate. If it's balanced before you cook, it will be balanced in the final dish. Next, the noodles. We use flat rice noodles. They need to be soaked, not boiled. You soak them in warm water until they are pliable but still have a firm white core. They should be like al dente pasta. If you over-soak them, they will turn into a sticky, mushy mess in the wok. If you under-soak them, they won't cook through. It's a fine line. Once they're ready, drain them completely and set them aside. Everything must be within arm's reach of your stove. Get your wok screaming hot. A wok is best because the high sloping sides allow you to toss the ingredients effectively. Add some oil and in goes some firm tofu cut into small cubes. Fry it until it's golden brown and slightly crispy on all sides, then push it to the side of the wok. Next, add some shrimp. Cook them just until they turn pink and curl up. Don't overcook them. Remove the shrimp and set them aside so they stay tender. Now add a bit more oil to the center of the wok. Crack an egg directly into the wok and scramble it quickly. Once it's just about set, push it to the side with the tofu. Now the main event. In go the drained noodles. Pour your prepared Pad Thai sauce all over them. Now you need to be fast. Using a spatula or tongs, you toss and stir the noodles constantly, making sure every single strand is coated in that beautiful sauce. Keep everything moving. The noodles will absorb the sauce and finish cooking in the wok. As the noodles soften, add in a handful of fresh bean sprouts and some chopped garlic chives. They add a crucial freshness and crunch to the dish. Toss them through for just 30 seconds. You want them to be warmed through but still crisp. You don't want limp, sad bean sprouts. Now, return the cooked shrimp to the wok. Give it all one final toss to combine everything. The whole process in the wok should only take a few minutes. It's all about high heat and constant motion. Turn off the heat. It's time to plate. Transfer the Pad Thai to a serving dish. Now for the garnish. This is not optional. It's essential to the experience. Sprinkle generously with crushed roasted peanuts for texture and nutty flavor. Add another handful of fresh bean sprouts on the side, a wedge of lime for squeezing over, and a small pile of dried chili flakes for those who like an extra kick of heat. the diner gets to customize the final dish to their liking. That interplay of textures and flavors, soft noodles, crisp sprouts, crunchy peanuts, tender shrimp, is what makes Pad Thai an absolute masterpiece. Stunning. Now for a dish that is pure comfort, a hug in a bowl, a true global superstar from the kitchens of India, butter chicken or murg makhani. Forget those bland, overly sweet takeaway versions. A real butter chicken is a masterpiece of balance. It's rich, creamy and tangy, with a gentle warming spice that builds in the background. The secret is in the layers of flavor built up step by step. It starts, as all great chicken dishes do, with the marinade. We use chicken thighs, not breast. Thighs have more fat and flavor, and they stay beautifully tender and juicy during cooking. You cut them into bite-sized pieces. The marinade is a two-step process. First, a simple mix of lime juice, salt and a little bit of Kashmiri red chili powder for color, not intense heat. Let that sit for 20 minutes. This first step tenderizes the chicken. The second marinade is yogurt paste with ginger garlic paste, garam masala, turmeric and more Kashmiri chili. Coat the chicken completely and let it marinate for at least 4 hours, or even better, overnight. The flavor of butter chicken comes from two main sources, the chicken and the sauce. The chicken needs to be cooked properly. Traditionally, it's cooked in a tandoor, a clay oven. We can replicate that high-heat cooking at home. You can thread the chicken onto skewers and grill it or cook it under a hot broiler until it's cooked through and has some lovely charred spots on the edges. That char is not a mistake. It's a crucial flavor element that adds a smoky depth to the final dish. Don't crowd the pan. Cook it in batches to ensure it sears rather than steams. Now for the makhani sauce, the butter sauce. This is where the magic happens. In a pan, you melt butter and oil. In go some whole spices, a bay leaf, a cinnamon stick, some green cardamom pods and cloves. Let them sizzle and release their fragrance. Then, add finely chopped onions and cook until they are soft and translucent. Next, more ginger garlic paste. Cook it for a minute until it's fragrant. Then comes the star ingredient, tomatoes. We need a lot of ripe red tomatoes, pureed until smooth. You can also use a good quality canned tomato puree. You cook that tomato base down, letting it simmer and reduce until it thickens and the oil starts to separate at the edges. This is a sign that the tomatoes are well cooked and their raw taste is gone. Now we add the ground spices, more Kashmiri chili powder for that vibrant red color, a touch of coriander and maybe a little cumin. Cook the spices for a minute, then add a handful of raw cashews. The cashews are the secret to the incredible creamy texture. They will soften in the sauce and we will blend them later. Let the sauce simmer for a good 15 to 20 minutes. Then turn off the heat and let it cool down slightly. Remove the whole spices like the bay leaf and cinnamon stick. Carefully transfer the sauce to a blender and blend until it is completely, utterly, luxuriously smooth. This is a crucial step for that signature velvety texture. Pass the blended sauce through a fine mesh sieve back into the pot to make it even silkier. This is what separates a good sauce from a restaurant quality sauce. Return the smooth sauce to the heat. Now bring it all together. Add your cooked charred chicken pieces to the sauce. Stir in a touch of sugar or honey to balance the tang of the tomatoes. The final touches are what make it makhani, a generous knob of cold butter stirred in at the end for gloss and richness, and a swirl of heavy cream for that luxurious mouthfeel. Finally, you finish with a sprinkle of crushed kasuri methi, which adds a unique, slightly bitter, aromatic note. Let it simmer for just a couple more minutes. Serve it hot with naan bread or basmati rice. That is a thing of beauty. Finally, we end our world tour in the heart of an American kitchen with a recipe that is pure, unadulterated joy, the chocolate chip cookie. Don't you dare scoff. A perfect chocolate chip cookie is a work of technical genius. It's a delicate balance of chemistry and technique. It should be crisp at the edges, soft and chewy in the middle, with deep notes of brown sugar and vanilla, and of course, pools of glorious melted chocolate. Getting that texture right is everything. It all starts with the butter, and it has to be butter. Not margarine, not some weird spread. Real unsalted butter. And here's the first secret. The temperature of the butter is critical. It should be softened to room temperature but not melted. If it's too cold, it won't cream properly. If it's melted, your cookies will spread into thin, greasy wafers. Softened butter is key. You're going to cream it together with the sugar. And we're using 2 types of sugar: granulated white sugar for crispness and packed brown sugar for moisture, chewiness, and that wonderful molasses flavor. In a large bowl, you beat the softened butter and both sugars together. Use an electric mixer if you have one. You want to beat it on medium-high speed for a good 3 to 5 minutes. You're not just mixing, you're creaming. You are whipping air into the mixture. It should become light in color and fluffy in texture. This step is non-negotiable. It creates air pockets that will help the cookies rise. Scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure everything is incorporated. Next, the eggs and vanilla. Add them one at a time, beating well after each addition. The eggs add moisture and act as a binder. And use pure vanilla extract, not imitation essence. The vanilla enhances all the other flavors. Once that's mixed in, it's time for the dry ingredients. In a separate bowl, you whisk together your all-purpose flour, baking soda, and salt. Whisking them together first ensures they are evenly distributed, so you don't get a bitter bite of baking soda in one cookie. The baking soda helps them spread and brown, and the salt balances the sweetness. Now, you gradually add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. Mix on a low speed and only mix until the flour is just combined. Do not overmix. Overmixing develops the gluten in the flour, which will result in tough, dense, bready cookies instead of tender, chewy ones. Stop mixing as soon as you no longer see streaks of dry flour. It's better to undermix slightly than to overmix. A few gentle folds with a spatula at the end is all you need. Now, for the star of the show, the chocolate. Don't use tiny little chocolate chips. They don't melt properly. Use good quality chocolate, either discs or a chocolate bar that you've chopped up yourself. A mix of semi-sweet and dark chocolate is fantastic. The different sizes of chopped chocolate create little pockets and big pools of melted goodness. Gently fold the chocolate chunks into the dough. Again, don't overmix. Here is the most important secret, the one that most home bakers skip. You must chill the dough. Cover the bowl and put it in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. But for the best results, chill it for 24 to 72 hours. Chilling the dough solidifies the fat, which means the cookies spread less in the oven. More importantly, it allows the dough to hydrate and the flavors to melt and deepen, resulting in a much more complex and delicious cookie. Scoop the chilled dough onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, leaving plenty of space between them. Bake in a preheated oven until the edges are golden brown, but the center still looks slightly soft and underdone. Let them cool on the baking sheet for a few minutes before transferring them to a wire rack. Perfect. And there you have it, 7 legendary dishes from around the globe demystified. From the rustic comfort of a French onion soup to the vibrant punch of a Mexican taco, you now have the blueprint, the fundamental techniques to create these masterpieces in your own kitchen. But watching me do it is one thing. The real magic happens when you pick up the tools, when you feel the dough, when you smell those onions caramelizing. Don't be afraid to get it wrong the first time. Cooking is about practice, passion, and learning from your mistakes. So I want you to get in there and try. This isn't the end, it's the beginning of your culinary adventure. Take these recipes and make them your own. Master the classics, and you'll have the confidence to experiment and create. Remember to use the subtitles we've included. They are packed with all the precise measurements, temperatures, and extra little tips that we talked about. The details that truly make a difference. Rewind, rewatch, and absorb the information. That's your secret weapon to getting it right every single time. Thank you for joining me on this incredible world tour. It's been a pleasure to share these iconic recipes with you. Now it's your turn to cook. Your turn to create something stunning. Get to it. I want to see what you can do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which world-famous recipe you want to master next. Now, get out of here and get cooking. Well done!